Good evening. This is Michael Dees, Dr. Mike Nelson, for those of you that know me. And this is my new book that just came out last month and is doing pretty well. Everybody keeps telling me that I should be telling other people about it and what's in it and why you should be interested in reading it. And I gotta say, honestly, I'm not sure that you should be. But be that as it may, the other books have been doing pretty well. This one was the hardest. This one was personal, and it was hard to write because it was personal. I incorporated a lot of my own life in it. For those of you that know me, I went to chiropractic school when I was in my 30s. I had already had other careers and done other things and went back in my 30s to become a chiropractor and then moved to the north woods of Wisconsin, where I became a rural doctor. And in Wisconsin, the Rural Practitioners Act required that if it walked in my door, I was responsible for treating it. And that included wounds, fractures, deliveries, etc. But it was also an area that was largely Amish. Over 375 families at the count that I was working at the time, which made for a lot of patients, but not a lot of mobility. And so 3 days out of my week, I did house calls. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I was in the office. Tuesdays, Thursdays, and a good deal of Saturday, I was what we used to say up on the ridge. And so I wasn't quite ready for it at first, but I have to say that because of the fact that we were so underserved, the physicians and other people around me really took it upon themselves to bring me up to speed quickly. And even though as a chiropractor, I was eschewed medications and most medical treatments and different things like that, I pretty quickly learned that you better be ready for whatever walks in the door. And so I learned how to stitch wounds and cast bones, and I have the distinct honor to say that I have delivered 33 babies, and 2 of them on the front seat of my pickup truck. So the Heretic has some of those stories in it. The ones that, not all, but many, that were life-changing for the people involved and for me as well. And in it, you get a chance to see how close to each other you become as a practitioner, as a family doctor. Family medicine, whether it's chiropractic medicine or allopathic, homeopathic, any of those things, we miss those days where the doctor knew you and he knew your kids and he knew your folks, and he walked you from the delivery room to the grave. And I missed those days. I loved those days. And we all are worse off because those days have passed in some ways. Now, specialty medicine, specialized medicine, is very good because it's much more efficient, but it's a lot less personal. And the personal stories that we create between ourselves, where we have extended family that extends out into the community, that extends out into the professionals that we deal with, and extends out beyond the parameters of just your family. Here we are in this situation right now where we have this global pandemic, And in the United States, we have unrest, and we have all of these things. And part of it is because I think we've lost some of that sense of community that we want back so badly. So when I sat down to write this most recent book, I veered away from the protagonist in the first two books, the Emmett Casey, who is the swashbuckling tomcat that everybody loves but doesn't really want to be friends with, at least not in front of anybody else, and veered into a person who started to recognize that without other people and without community and without those types of relationships, we aren't really anything. So I'm happy to bring this to you. It's a story that I was proud to write and proud to have lived through many of these stories. And because of that, I would be glad to have you read it, but I'm also just really glad that I sat down and did it. So I hope you enjoy it, and I hope that it's good for you, and I hope you like it. And once again, um, if you like what I write, tell everybody, and if you don't, tell me. Have a good evening. It's raining finally here. Good night.